Alright everybody, game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the Heroes Battle Arena, powered by Twitch and G2A, Kiev5 versus NaVi, and we have Blackheart's Bay as our map, which is actually pretty interesting that we see that map. So, like, I haven't seen it for weeks, now we see it twice in a day. So the draft might be a bit different here, because there are a few things that you can do on this map that you cannot really do as well on other maps. For example, you can play nearly throughout the entire match a more PvE style, where you are just trying to not fight, but you play around your opponent and try to win the map with objectives, turning in those coins. Kiev5 with the ban on Khaldor, so NaVi is most likely going to ban out Tyrande, and there is the Tyrande ban, with Kiev5 now having a couple of options of how they can start into the draft. Like, we've been talking a lot about how you can pick Uther or ETC early on because you want to deny that combo to your opponent. That's definitely still viable, you can do that. But right now we have, oh wow, high focus on Falstad again. And if you watched the games earlier that we had in the Chinese league, and you can already tell that there's a pretty big difference about the Chinese meta and the European meta. Falstad super early as a first pick here for Kiev5, and that's something that you wouldn't see in the Chinese scene at all. I mean, we were hard pressed to find a Falstad in all of these games. I think it was banned out in the last match between Cloud9 and their opponent, which was... I'm already drawing a blank. So much stuff has been going on today. It was crazy. AHQ, the Taiwanese team. And NaVi does decide to not go into the potential Uther ETC. Instead, they are still dropping Uther, but they run him together with a Muradin here. Muradin, of course, is super strong tank at the front line. We've been talking about him a lot in the past, but that allows now Kiev to go for a couple of other variations here when it comes to the draft. We have also, of course, the option for them to go into a Tastadar, which is oftentimes banned out as well. But first of all, they lock down that ETC, so the counterparts to Muradin, the two tanks, are probably the most picked these days. And we have a Sylvanas on this map now, which would also guarantee a pretty nice counterplay to a potential melee assassin, because NaVi, with that Uther that they already locked down, have the opportunity to go into something like a Kerrigan, Illidan, and Thrall. The melee assassins are getting quite popular here again. With NaVi, when we're looking at the ban here, they can ban out a support player if they really wanted to. There's, of course, a couple of options that you have with this. Heroes that we could see on this map, which are a little bit more out of the ordinary and more catering towards the map as well. The support ban, as predicted, is already happening here. But heroes that we could see are even... We could see the Abathar, Lost Vikings. Oftentimes when we play this map, we have an Abathar ban, by the way. NaVi could still think about heading into something along the lines of an Abathar together with a Jaina to get that Muradin, Uther, double Jaina in. That's a lot of burst damage that it has there. Kind of doubt a bit that they're going to go for it, but if they want to play with Uther and a melee assassin, they could still try to lock at least Abathar down. Kiev5, when it comes to the bans, I mean, they could decide, they ban out the Sonya. Alright, Sonya, super strong, of course, and especially with that Uther Divine Shield, you want to make sure that she is not going to become a problem for you. But NaVi can still head into one of those melee assassins. We've been talking about that a bit. It is a very, very strong combo if you have the Divine Shield ready to save your front line. They still need some range damage, though. And that's where we could see a Reyna, we could see a Vala there, or a Zagara at the bot lane. Zagara actually, like, extremely powerful here. If you have her at bot lane, you can get a lot of pressure out of this, so it's definitely an option that they can use if they want to. Zagara could try and dominate that lane, and then also, of course, give you that pushing power that helps also to make sure that that Sylvanas is not getting completely out of control. So that's definitely one of the things that NaVi could attempt to add to their roster here, but it all depends a bit on the question whether they want to run a melee assassin, yes or no. Range damage, they need it either way, but usually you don't want to run the Zagara as the only damage dealer in the back line. That's where a Vala or a Reyna would be much, much better for them. Even a Vala, even a Jaina. And Vala already the choice here. It's kind of nice that my girl is seeing some play again these days. Like, she's back to business, and yep, more hateful than ever. Yeah, getting all those hatred stacks in. And a Thrall, told ya, melee assassin. There we go. And Thrall has really benefited from those scaling changes that Blizzard implemented recently. We see him a lot these days. Green Jesus is back to business. So we have the War Chief in the game. And Green Moses, as you can also call him, because the Sundering is parting the waves of the opponent, will have a pretty big impact here. But, well, NaVi still has one last pick where they can react to whatever Kiev5 is going to try and bring to the table. And, well, Kiev5, they need a support, so it's likely... There are the Vikings. I told you we could see them here, and I'm loving it. Kiev5, they like to play Vikings. They need a support. We could see that Brightwing here. That would really work, and there she is. It's great if you're having this many characters on the map, and thanks to the AoE heal, and the Vikings in particular, can simply soak the top and the mid lane, and you can push the bot lane with 4 heroes. NaVi could still decide to go into the Tastadar. That helps, first of all, to keep Thrall alive, and it gives you vision on the map. The same would also somehow happen with a Zagara, because you get the creep tumor vision. If you're trying to hunt down Vikings, that's actually like a pretty smart move, because you are always in a position where you get some vision around these bushes where the Vikings love to hide and soak experience for the team. So that's one of the things that NaVi could decide to do now. There's a lot of options, but they go into a Nubarak, so it's a triple melee setup, actually quadruple melee setup if you count that Uther. And a Nubarak, that is a hero that we see a bit more often. We've seen him today in the GHL, in the Chinese Gold League, but in Europe, he's really not chosen all that often. So this is going to be some nice play. There's a lot of stuns, a lot of lockdowns that they bring to the table. Kiev5 is going to try to run this with just the experience all over the map, and I'm loving this draft. I'm loving the map, and we're going to have a lot of fun here now in Black Huts Bay. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series, ladies and gentlemen, at the Heroes Battle Arena. And we have NaVi going up against Kiev5. The first map is, as you can already see, well, not Black Huts Bay. It is indeed Sky Temple, so that draft pick was apparently a little bit wrong and doesn't really seem like they hosted the wrong map. But yeah, so we have a different map than announced in the draft, which is a bit unfortunate, but well, the lineups are still pretty sweet. To the left side of the map, we have NaVi with Alex the Pro G being a naughty boy, being silenced here on Anubarak, Zarmany on Muradin, Crosby on Vala, Grand Paquete on Uther, and Eternal on Thrall. To the right side of the map, Air for Kiev5 on Falstad, so Ice Cream on Savannah's, Hydra on the Vikings, Mopsy on ETC, and Lunarn is playing Brightwing. So we have still a pretty sweet setup for both of the teams here, and we're going to talk about, of course, also the talents and those compositions in just a short while. First of all, a few comments about the setup here. You might already have noticed that we have Crosby now playing on the side of NaVi. NaVi, by the way, has just reformed recently, and currently they're trying to lock down the Ice Cream, but they don't get the kill. And instead, we have Muradin suddenly under a lot of pressure. They are rushing in to take him down. Zarmany is in trouble, and he's not going to get out of this one. So the first kill for Kiev5, well done and a good reaction. The Vikings are, of course, soaking the rest of the lanes. We're having Hydra currently at the bot lane with Eric and Olaf. Eric and Balog, and in the mid lane it is Olaf that is currently soaking experience. But as I said, we had a few changes to the lineup of NaVi after BlizzCon. Grand Paquete is now playing as a support, and we have Crosby, a former My Insanity aka Spartanian player, playing for the lineup as well. The last status that I had is that they were tryout players. By now they might be part of the fixed roster. We don't really know for sure, but probably the more success they're going to have in the future, the more likely it is that they're going to be a permanent addition to the team. That also led to My Insanity withdrawing from the league because they don't have a full lineup at this point. So the team did not disband. I actually said that in a previous stream, but they didn't. I was misinformed by one of the admins who apparently misunderstood what was going on there. So the team My Insanity is still intact, but they're looking for the last player. And because they don't have a full roster, they decided to withdraw from the league instead. Right now, when we're looking at the setup of Kiev5, we have also Mopsio playing for them. I wasn't really informed before the cast if that is now a permanent addition or if he's just going to sub in today. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff happening in the European scene, as you can already tell. A few of the teams have now a very fixed lineup, especially when we're talking about teams like Team Liquid and Fnatic, but there's still a lot of flux currently. So for now, we have both of the teams going, of course, in this first game of the best of 3 series, going straight for those shots at the temple. Eric was taken down. Looks like Eternal in the mid lane is also not having a counterpart against him, who has to do anything about that. Bot lane is where we still have a few of the Vikings in play, and Anubarak is soaking the experience here for them. So Alex versus Hydra. A lot of those tower shots are already gone, so the ammunition has been drained by all of those beetles. And a bit of an adjustment with the builds here as well for Anubarak. Not going into the Legion of Beetles on the level 4 tower, but instead it's the Underking. They go for Mopsio. He is getting knocked up again, and down goes ETC. Great moves here on the side of NaVi, even though inexperienced. They are falling behind thanks to the Vikings, and Hydra just trying to soak as much as he possibly can. So Underkin taken for the increased range on the burrow charge. And I can tell you one thing from personal experience. The first time that you see Anubarak charging in after he chose the level 4 talent, you are normally in a spot where you're like, what the hell is going on? If you didn't double check what talent he took, then you might be in for a surprise, because a lot of people just stay just barely outside the range of him, and if he takes that talent, yeah, you might be in for a very bad surprise indeed. Eternal is going for the Season Marksman on level 1 with his Thrall, and we're seeing him with the Spirit Journey for the increased travel range for the Feral Spirit. It's really interesting also to see, oh, gank attempt, but yeah, that was a bit... It's really interesting to see, in my opinion as well, how the difference here is between the Thrall builds that we have. Just early today, we casted a few of the games in the GHL, the Chinese scene, and we saw Thrall being played there too, and it was more of a focus onto the Chain Lightning build than anything else. So there's a couple of builds out for Thrall these days that you can play. With the Sylvanas, the pushing power that we're seeing here for Kiev5 is of course incredible. And that's exactly what they're currently trying to bring to the table. They have next to the Vikings also Brightwing in play, and all of these heroes are soaking experiences all over the map. Whereas Kiev5 can now push in and take maybe even the well down. That would help them like so much when it comes to the attack at the temple down to the bot lane, which is going to be activated next. Hydra is a bit far out here with his Viking, apparently didn't pay attention, and Balog dies as a result of it. Fawcett, of course, with the Seasoned Marksman of level 1, is now also heading into the secret weapon on level 7 after going straight into the power throw on level 4. With the extra AoE damage that we're now seeing for Nubarak, thanks to the Urticating Spines, we have him with a bit of additional wave clear. He can use that up of the top to push this in a bit further. And the rest of the team is still rotating in the mid. But I have to give some credit here to NaVi, who are, despite the fact that they're up against the Vikings, still in a really comfortable position concerning the experience at least. They are not really looking too good when it comes down to the structure, so the structural position in the game is a completely different one, but when it comes to experience, these guys are strong. And AR, moves away. Alex, the Pro G, misses him just barely, but Brightwing is down, Luna dead, no blink heal just yet. ETC is moving away now too, but the chase is still on, and Falstad is getting slammed into the face, and he drops now as well. So job well done on the side of NaVi, well played. We have them with 3.5 kills against 1. And now that the temple is active down to the bot lane, they're starting to move in here. With 2 heroes still dead for the opponent, they can easily start a fight for this one. We have the Power Slide talents on level 1 and level 4 for ETC, and he went straight into the Keep on Rocking. The Guitar Hero actually, for the additional self-heals. Alright, so Guitar Hero has been chosen for him. With the heroes that he's up against, I really expected the Keep on Rocking talent to be taken for the mini Relentless that you get for 4 seconds. That would have been really good for him as well. But you can already just tell that there's a couple of options that you definitely have in a situation like this, which is what makes, of course, that talent system that Wizard uses for the game so incredibly cool. Level 7 talent, the Wind Shear, on the side of Thrall, and, well, while we're having the fight starting, both of the teams are aiming for their level 10s, their heroic abilities here. Zarmany might have to jump out of here, yep, dashes out, and a few remaining shots are ending up in the hands of Kiev5, who now also have the heroic ability, and are still pushing the lanes with the Vikings. Zarmany with the Avatar, nice Mighty Gust, and a pretty decent silence too. The shots have been soaked, and these guys cannot just simply move away if they want to. They should have the mobility to make that happen, but they go for the fight first of all, and Zarmany might actually fall. They go instead for Bala. The Divine Shield keeps her alive. Job well done here. Vikings still soaking everywhere on the map. We already have down to the bottom lane, well, at least 2 of them. The top lane is not being pushed anymore, but of course that means that 1 heroic ability is missing during these fights, but it's still totally worth it. As you can see here, we have the wall and also Fort Plus Tower taken down by Kiev5. That gives them a lead in experience and a structural advantage that is quite important. Thanks to the Viking bribery, and also, of course, thanks to the Mercenary Lord on level 4, we have especially like Eric and the other lanes pushing very hard, and is of course an invaluable advantage for Kiev5 now that they can move through the map with 4 heroes, just rotate from lane to lane, put a lot of pressure on, while the Vikings are still securing experience on all the other lanes. I mean, just look up at the top where we have Hydra still soaking it. At the same time, as we said before, NaVi is actually doing quite well, trying to stay alive here and get the experience for themselves, but they are slightly behind. Hydra is dying here again. That's of course a bit unfortunate. Up to the top lane, it looks like Olaf at least might escape, but in the mid lane we have a massive pressure play again. Vikings together with the Sylvanas have so much lane push, it is absolutely incredible. But at this point, yeah, Mighty Gust being used for the disengage, and the Cocoon, so that ETC is not going to get away here. He has still the mosh pit up, but I doubt that he's going to be able to use it. He's getting locked down as we speak, might be thinking about the heroic ability, dashes away, Sundering is locking him out for a second. Yeah, there was a shield that kept him alive for a bit longer, but now we have Divine Shield on Meridian. He goes in for another stun. Hydra escapes, Brightwing blink heals away, and they are still looking strong. Here comes the longboat, and Eternal might actually fall. Indeed he does, and they are going straight for Zarmany, who might now also fall. So Ice Cream going really deep, and so does Air. He gets stunned for a second, but that polymorph here that we're seeing for Uther is nearly dropping him. Sylvanas is straight in the fight again, and wow, Kiev5, they are really putting in the pressure now. I'm liking this game a lot. I really love Viking play, and it's pretty cool to see this Hydra and the rest of the team synergized as well. Keep this composition a bit in mind, because what they currently do, and you might have seen that in the last fight, before they turned and really faced the battle, they actually just rotated around the map with the heroes that they had, pushed in the lanes, thanks to the combo of the Vikings plus Sylvanas. I've already talked about it a bit. And once that there was a fight, they just used the Mighty Gust to disengage. So they don't necessarily want to fight. If they see advantage, they're going to do exactly that. But for now, they can just always disengage with the Mighty Gust and try to just get ahead in experience. There is that battle happening, or it could be, with Giant Killer now as a level 13 talent for Falstad. We're seeing With the Wind taken after Lost Soul on level 1. For Sylvanas, and we have the jump for the Vikings with groupies, of course, for ETC, and the shield dust taken for Brightwing. But one of the temples taken down to the bot lane. Experience was still soaked by some of the Vikings. We have now another camp taken on the map, and Hydra can use one of his Vikings to rotate over and make sure that they're going to get a bit more pushing power out of this one. Zarmany is soaking the last few shots for his team, but all of the forts have been eliminated by Kiev5, which is a pretty big advantage for the team now. Vala went into the multi-shot build and therefore chose to go onto Frostshot on level 13, with Nuburak heading straight into that extra AoE damage. So we have for him Burning Rage, and on the side of Thrall, as expected, the Grace of Air. That's why these Wind Shear talents, or these Wind Fury talents, are really popular. Falstad taken down, and the Divine Shield on Thrall. They're starting to move in again. And right now that Cocoon is of course isolating another target, and there's the stuns, and goodbye Sylvanas. NaVi with great play here on the map. I'm liking that setup for Kiev5 a lot. I really think it's absolutely great to see this, but at the same time NaVi is doing exceptionally well when it comes to locking down targets and really forcing these kills. 6.75 kills in the over 2, so they are very solid here. We have now also the boss taken, could try and dash in, boss is there, and they move on the point, and here is immediately that attempt to go for the mosh pit, but interrupted even before it can happen. Once again, Mopsy about to die. They nearly get the boss, but not quite. 2 down, 3 down, Mighty Gust is being used, but Alex the Pro G is still on point, and now the entire team, with the exception of Sylvanas, is getting wiped out. Nobody died for NaVi. They have the boss, and they start to move into the middle of the map. Very well played here. That ETC mosh pit could have worked out for them, but Anubarak was already dashing in even as it was started. It was a great counter pick against ETC, and it's working out incredibly well for the team. But they were looking strong. The problem for them, of course, is that right now NaVi is just making the plays. Yeah, Kiev5 was a little bit too eager to go for the boss here. They didn't have the entire team together, and especially Sylvanas was missing, so that's an issue. And then still trying to face that fight was maybe a mistake. Well, there's no maybe about it. It was indeed one. But for now, we at least have once again the attacks happening here. We are seeing down to the bot lane, the fort eliminated. Level 16 talents are now ready, and that puts a double blood for blood into the hands of NaVi. And we're seeing them also with Stone Form, Benediction, and even that extra damage thanks to the Tempest Fury on the 3rd strike. So that's pretty sweet as well. Another temple is going to be active in another 4 seconds that the teams are going to aim for. We already have Zarmany on the way over, as at the top lane, Garampakete and Alex the Pro G are attempting to drop this fort maybe even before the temple is being taken. Yeah, down here, one camp is taken, and that's where especially the Vikings can, of course, come into play again if they rotate in. That Mercenary Lord talent on level 4 is pretty sweet, and you can really get a lot of lane push with it if you are able to get all of that. But the rest of the team can't go for the temple. They can't really attack anything here because they are lacking the level 16 talent. And this is currently their biggest problem. The Vikings are already attempting to not even sneak down and help out this camp, but instead they're starting to rotate into the middle so that at least that heroic ability is available during the fight. Lunarn on his Brightwing is the only one who went down to the bot lane, and that's pretty simply because he can use the phase shift to just jump into any kind of fight up at the top, where we now still see the last few shots soaked by NaVi. NaVi in nearly a 2-level lead right now against the Vikings, which is absolutely incredible play. Mopsy and his boys are currently aiming to go straight for that wall at the top, and they will get a bit of damage in, especially with Sylvanas, so NaVi has to react to that. They have nice rotations on the map for them. Hammer time. We have also, of course, a combo talent for the level 1 Lost Soul taken by Sylvanas going into the Cold Embrace here. Good stuns though. Impatience of Virtue and Echo Paddle has been chosen, as well as the Greater Polymorph for Brightwing, but for now, we're seeing the Cocoon used again. The silent hits, and it hits hard. ETC with the Mosh Pit, but Divine Shell has been used on the Nubarak, and they can simply zone ETC out. He's already dropped, so Ice Cream is moving away. Brightwing is dead. Falstad is following, and the Vikings are most likely going to fall as well, or at least one or two of them. Stormbolt is hitting them. Jump allows them to run away for a bit longer, but in the end it's going to be a full kill against the Vikings. Eric, Balog and Olaf are down. We have 14.25 kills against 2. And well, at the beginning of the map, we had for Kiev5 a bit of an advantage. They were looking pretty solid here, but right now in the late game, NaVi is just taking full control of the match and is starting to burst their comp down quite easily. So they go for kill after kill. They move in for the first keep of the game, 14 minutes into the match, and they are looking incredibly strong here with the setup that they're playing. Alex the Pro G, especially on his love bug here, is doing very, very well with the Nubarak. That underking talent also allowing him to just jump in from all the positions. And yeah, that could mean that we're going to see a lot more Nubarak in the near future. For now, it looks like an attempt to take down Thrall, and that might be happening, but no, Thrall is currently he's going full ham now. He goes full ham into this, and he gets, of course, that Frostwolf resilience. There comes the Ice Cream, and he is falling as well. Eternal is saved, and Thrall's still alive. That self-heal is just absolutely insane if you even have an Uther backing you up, and they can go straight for the core now. They have the level 20 talents, and with those we now see the Nexus Frenzy for Vala. We have full damage talents taken now, 18 kills against 2, and a great play here by NaVi in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. They secure themselves the lead in the best of 3, take it on Sky Temple against their opponent. GG and well played, and we're of course going to jump into game number 2 to find out if Kiev5 can turn the series around. Kiev5 is down 1 game in the best of 3 series, and Infernal Shrines is the second map. A map that they really like to play a lot, and we could see the Vikings here again, since it's one of Kiev5's favorite heroes to play on this map now. One of the things that's pretty important here, as you can already tell, we have Kel'Thas in this case, and well, actually also Tyrande already. Well, Kel'Thas and Tyrande have been banned again, so that's actually like pretty common. That's one of the normal starts into the entire match. Kiev5 decided to go into an ETC as the first pick here, so that's of course always something that you can aim for. Iceman Blues, thanks for the sub, my friend. Thank you very much for the sub here and the support. NaVi at the same time is adding again an early Falstad plus an Uther into their setup. On Infernal Shrines it can actually be quite nice, especially if your opponent is playing with the Vikings, since Falstad acts a bit as a Viking detector and can just fly from lane to lane or move and find out if there is maybe a Viking in the bush and then still join the team fight. AoE, of course, overall is still very important on the map, since we are looking at Infernal Shrines, and those 40 minions, they take quite some time to gather up, so you can get a lot with Area of Effect to not only hurt the opponent's team, but also get that objective a bit faster. Kiev5, they can head now into heroes like Sylvanas, for example. Again, Sylvanas in general is just very powerful when we're talking about Infernal Shrines, because once again, when you secure yourself one of those punishers, you can just like start to push in, disable the towers with Sylvanas, they get a lot of pressure on the lane with it. We have seen, Reyna and Karazim as an early commitment here. The last time NaVi banned out Karazim on the map, so in this case Kiev5, they want to make sure that they get Karazim over Brightwing. We have NaVi still with the next ban coming in, and right now they could still go for something like a ban on Tyrael. If you don't get the ETC and Uther composition, some of the teams will still jump into a Tyrael here, but it is the counter pick against Kiev5. They're realizing already that there's a pretty high chance that the Vikings are going to be picked again, since of course this is the style that Kiev5 has used in the past, so the Vikings are getting banned out. It's target ban, not a meta ban that we're seeing here. And Kiev5, they decide to ban out Tassadar first of all, since Uther, Tassadar and Sonya would be a little bit too strong to deal with. And NaVi, talking Sonya, has the chance now to go for the hero. They can also still pick Muradin. Muradin was not prioritized by Kiev5. They instead wanted to play the ETC, so we could see something along the lines of Muradin and Sonya. One of the two heroes is definitely going to be taken right now. I mean, with the setup that we are looking at, it would make perfect sense. And there's the Muradin. Only question, are they going to commit to Sonya? It's the Sylvanas for now. Same reasoning as we already had before, as we were talking about the potential picks for Kiev5. She is incredibly powerful once that you take the Punisher. Kiev5 could still in theory go for a Sonya themselves. Sonya is of course very strong here. NaVi already committing in the last game to a Thrall, so maybe we're going to see the same thing again. Thrall is very powerful now, especially of course with those scaling changes. And Kiev5, well, they still need someone else at the front line, I suppose. And as I said, the Tyrael would be a good option for them, since they can try to combo that Sanctification together with the ETC Mosh Pit. It's pretty similar to that Uth and ETC comp. It's kind of like it's the second version, so to say, of that composition. So you can definitely play the two, and there is Tyrael indeed, so they go for the hero. Bit of range damage would be nice. Vala maybe with the multi-shot build to soak some of those minions during the fights. We have already Falstad taken. Unless, of course, you want to take a Jaina. If you want to take a Jaina, you can do that too. If not, Vala might be a really good option for you here. And Kiev5 might head into one of these two heroes now. They have quite some time still on the draft, so it's not really a big issue for them. They can really think about what they're going to do here. Of course, they need a bit of pushing power. And personally, I believe that Vala would be a very nice addition. They can go in a multi-shot build that allows them to get quite some wave clear as well with the Arsenal on level 4, Composite Arrow on level 1. And then you can, in those temple fights, in those shrine fights, still get a lot of minions while at the same time applying damage to your opponent. If you really bank a lot of your hopes on the ETC Mosh Pit, Jaina might be the better option. She has still a very nice amount of AoE, is very strong in the Chinese scene. She's even a bit more popular, and it is Jaina, so they decided to go for her Blizzard time. We have even seen in the Chinese league some adjustments with the level 16 talent, for example, where instead of the normal numbing blast, we are seeing the triple wave on the Blizzard, which can be quite nice if you are attempting to just get a few of those minions in. And it is, again, as already theorized, Thrall for NaVi. They play him again. Green Jesus is back to action. And guys, this is going to be a good one. Again, NaVi's in the lead. Let's jump into Infernal Shrines and find out together if they can win it with a 2-0, or if Kiev5 is able to start a comeback. Game number 2, everybody, and it continues. NaVi versus Kiev5 at the Heroes Battle Arena, powered by Twitch and G2A. To the left side of the map, we are seeing Muradin, played this time, of course, by Alex. Alex, the Pro G here. Mr. Silence. We have Grandpa Kette on Uther, Crosby on Sylvanas. Zarmony is playing Falstad as we speak. And the rest of the setup here with Eternal, of course, once again on Thrall. That's going to be pretty cool. Thrall in general, a really fun hero to watch. And to the right side of the map, we have Kiev5 with AR on Reyna. We have Mopsio on ETC, Hydra on Jaina, so Ice Cream on Tyrael, and Lunarn is playing Karazem. Everybody already rotating down to the bot lane. I mean, you might be familiar with this. If you play with the Sylvanas, then oftentimes you're just trying to burst one of the towers away. And they are putting a trap in for exactly that reason. I'm liking this a lot, so they start to move in. They want to go for the kill. Thrall, Green Jesus, he might be falling here. Eternal jumps out, and he's still eating the damage. Down he goes. In comes the Ice Cream now. They want to get more than only one kill, and he jumps in for the body block. Once again, they're on the run. Grandpa Kette, he's trying to get away here, and he falls too. It's a 2-0 in kills for Kiev5. And yeah, that can happen to you if you're attempting to go for the quick burst on the tower that normally all of the Sylvanas teams attempt these days. So the idea is pretty simple, and you might have seen that in a few other games already. If you have a Sylvanas in this setup, what you are trying to do is just move in, you disable the tower and the entire 5-man roster, sometimes only 4, move in, burst the tower down, and then you go back and you have a slight lead already in the game. But already Kiev5 was exactly waiting for that moment, and they just set a trap up, and that allowed them to get a double kill right off the bat. So that's a pretty solid lead here. And as the first shrine is spawning before level 4, that could actually result in an extra talent for Kiev5 while the fight is happening and give them an incredible advantage there. We are seeing a triple season marksman, one on Falstad, one on Thrall, and the other one on Reyna. Different teams though. But besides that, the build's still pretty much what you would expect, like nothing too crazy. Oh, nice burst damage against Eternal there. They're really starting to go for Thrall. Hydra is getting a bit low. The experience is roughly the same, but of course that's going to swing in favor of Kiev5 once again, once they take down the minion waves. But that shrine is ready, and now it's an earlier level 4 for Kiev5, and that might be a problem. Alex with the Pedo Muradin skin is already starting to move in here. One with some candy. And we have Grandpa Kette and Crosby starting to move straight in to at least get a few of those minions that move to the left side. Level 4 any second now. Eternal, by the way, soaking experience too, and that actually results in both of the teams with a level 4 talent at the same time. But the position is still a bit better for Kiev5. They move in against Thrall again. He is eating so much damage there. In comes the Ice Cream. He wants to go for the jump. Mopsio is falling at first, but it's also a kill against Mirrodin. He gets blown to pieces as he darts in. Now we are still seeing the fight for the minions, and we have 19 to 25, so it's still pretty close. More Blizzards hitting home, and all of that AoE damage that Hydra can bring to the table is of course an incredible advantage. They're starting to move back to well up, but that allows the opponent to take down air. Down goes Reina. Here comes again Kiev5 with an attempt to use that Blizzard. The extra range on the radios with the Snowstorm on level 4 is of course helping Jaina a lot. The kill against Uther, and we see the one against Tyrael as a counter kill. It still doesn't matter here for Kiev5. It is a Punisher for them. They take it. Punisher is moving in. It is a frozen Punisher in this case, so theoretically they could try and jump in together with it. Falstad moved up to the top lane immediately to soak experience, and ETC is following him as soon as he can. Not a lot of bot lane pressure happening. A lot of the power, of course, that comes from the lineup that we see for Na'Vi is like basically based on that Sylvanas. If you get a Punisher and you move in with Sylvanas to disable the towers, then you can do so much extra damage. So the whole idea is here to make exactly that happen. Nice dodges there. Cannot just move around. Luna didn't even have to dash in. Nobody was taken out. On level 4 we now have a double Envenom also for not only Sylvanas but also Thrall. At the top lane there's again Mopsio. Zarmany has to move back, but he can just simply be back, get some hit points back, and then he just flies in again, so they're not going to lose anything up here at the top. So as you can see, he's already making his way over. Not flying to the top though, so apparently their attempt though, yeah, there we go, okay. Flies in at the top lane, and therefore no experience lost, can immediately take over once again. That's one of the beautiful things about Falstad. Brightwing is pretty much the same, like you be back and then you just like jump into the lane again with your phase shift. That's pretty cool and allows you to just keep experience up while still moving back. Windcheer taken with a cooldown reduction, so very powerful talent on level 4, sorry, on level 7. And talking about those Wind Fury talents, usually we see that happening on level 4 or level 7, on level 13, and in the last game even on level 16. So really trying to go for all that extra damage, the cooldown reduction, the extra Frostwolf resilience. And up to the top, oh, Aya is dying here, isn't he? Eternal, yeah, Eternal and Zarmany, both of them are just cutting him off and taking him down. Zarmany, by the way, in case you missed the news, he switched over from Team Dignitas, so he's actually part of Na'Vi now. There was a bit of a switch. We have now also Shrimpy playing for Dignitas. So it's actually kind of fun to see how currently the entire scene has been changing after the road to BlizzCon and BlizzCon tournament. So there's a bit of exchange happening there. Down to the bottom lane, by the way, still both of the tanks are soaking the experience, but the most important part is really that objective that is currently up on the map, up to the top. We have on level 7 the Unstable Poison on Sylvanas, pretty standard talents, Piercing Bolt for Mirrodin so that he gets a bit of extra control during the fights, Revolution Overdrive, and now in this case the Just Keep Rocking talents taken for the Mini Relentless. Nice move against Alex. Alex actually eating a lot of damage here, needs to move out. They're trying to fight for that shrine. And Ice Cream was also getting rather low, so he needed to go back to the well. But at least for now, we have that shrine under the control of Na'Vi. They get a few additional minions. Of course, they need to wait for Alex to jump in again, since he is the only tank at the front line. Besides him, they can only rely on Eternal with his Thrall. Positions taken again. Burst attempt against Lunarn, but Karazim moves away. ETC at the front. Eternal with that Chain Lightning. Once again, Frostwolf Resilient helps him to stay in play, but we have still a lot of damage on the heroes, especially Zarmany on that Falstad is incredibly low. But when it comes to the minions, Na'Vi even has a bit of a lead. Ayara moves in, Falstad gets healed, they try to go for ATC, they nearly get the kill, Blizzard is hitting, but Zarmany moves away with a barrel roll, and a lot of these minion stacks have now been claimed by Na'Vi. The blue team is doing incredibly well here. Now already going straight for 31. It's a 10 minion lead. They're welling up again, starting to go straight for that fight once more, and let's see who's going to take it here. We have Kiev5 getting dangerously close to get that Punisher. Na'Vi really wants it so they can push with Sylvanas, but they don't have it yet. They need 4 more kills, and it's a bit of zoning effort that we're seeing from Kiev5. They're trying to deny that for as long as they can, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it work. Nope, the Arcane Punisher has been gotten, and here comes Hydra. Oh my god, the kill against Tyrael, and Hydra on his Jaina is now going to fall too. Or is he? Well, Crosby gets healed, and Hydra falls as well. It's a 5 versus 3 with Sylvanas moving in, disabling all of the structures, and there's nothing worse to face than an Arcane Punisher that jumps in. They even go for Reyna now. They go deep for the kill. Sundering even being used. He's trying to lock down Lunan too, but that's not going to happen here. 7 kills against 4. Level 11 versus level 9. Great play here by NaVi. Kiev5 is visibly struggling against this. At the bottom lane, we're seeing Falstad already taking experience, and ETC is joining him here. But the top lane push has not finished yet, not by a long shot. Crosby is still there with the Punisher and making sure that all of those towers are disabled. We're seeing them now with Mighty Gust, Sundering, Wailing Arrow, Divine Shield, and the Avatar, and they go through that wall without any problems whatsoever. It's rather unlikely that they're going to go deeper than that, but they don't really have to. They are 2.5 levels ahead at this point, and that's all that they need. Goran Paqueta on his money pick in the mid lane, soaking EXP. Level 10's finally in play now for the opponent as well. Kiev5 running it here with the Ring of Frost, Sanctification of course, in addition to the Mosh Pit. And we have Hyperion plus Divine Palm taken. That's another pretty interesting thing, by the way. In general, if you've been watching the last few days and last few weeks, then you probably all know about the differences that we see between the regions. But especially on a hero like Kharazim, we have a very different approach on other regions like North America. Kharazim normally played with the 7-sided strike over there, and only occasionally you will see the Divine Palm if the circumstances really demand it. Like, for example, a burst composition with Jaina and Tyrande Muradin. Wow, what? Oh my god, what was that? Holy mother of God, what a play! And the only thing that denies it is that Sanctification here, but Tyrael dies regardless. What on earth was that? They still get a double kill. Tyrael and also Luna, they go down. The Monk is dead, and in comes the kill against Reyna. Unbelievable. NaVi with a power play, the perfect Sundering, and right after that, there comes the silence. What an incredible play here. Absolutely out of this world. Loving it. They nearly nailed 4 heroes with that. They get the kills later on anyways, but wow. Just wow. What a play. That was insane. That was really awesome. NaVi with an incredible coordination in this attack, and it doesn't get any better than that. It does not get any better than that move. Unbelievable. Tyrael nearly ruined it, by the way. That Tyrael Sanctification nearly ruined the situation, but yeah, that was amazing. So another shrine is on the map, and it's a 3-level lead nearly that we're seeing for NaVi. And of course they have the extra talent, with now only Giant Killer taken. We have the Grace of Fury. We have at the same time now Shrink Ray, Burning Rage, and a Spell Shield. And there's very little that Kiev5 can do. They have to just simply accept that they're not going to get this Punisher here. This one is going to be taken by NaVi, no questions asked. They're starting to move in for this one. I still can't believe what we just saw. That combo was absolutely incredible, putting them into a corner and going for it. If not for that Sanctification, all 4 of them would have died right there, but at least they were able to escape for a second. They still lost 3 heroes, but this was insane. So right now we have at the bot lane another hero taken out. Reyna didn't make it, as you could already tell. We have still a very solid lead here for NaVi. They're everywhere on the map. They're securing themselves another Punisher, Mortar Punisher in this case. We are currently seeing Eternal up at the top here. Level 14 versus level 12. And well, we currently see the Mortar Punisher moving into the mid lane, where of course, again, thanks to Crosby, all of those structures are being disabled. And there's no level 13 talent yet for Kiev5. Kiev5 does not have the level 13, so what exactly can they do here? They're starting to move straight to the right, where another wall is going to fall, and this time it might mean keep. They start to move in, they blast through this. Hyperion is already being used. The Mortar Punisher is nearly done, nearly gone. So let's see how exactly they're going to check this one out. They move in and they take down, yeah, they're going to take down the keep. They're not going to let this one go. And they're close to level 16 as well. If they drop the keep here, they are going to hit the next talent. And that is, of course, going to be even worse. They even try to go for a kill for a second. They don't get it. But here's the 16 talents. 16 versus 13 any second now. With Stone Form, Benediction taken. Again, we have the Tempest Fury on the side of Thrall. We are seeing also Hammer Time, and Falstad is doing Falstad things, flying to the top and starting to soak even more experience here. Really, really well done. So currently, down to the bottom lane, we have Eternal, Crosby, Alex, and yep, Grandpa Kette going for another camp, trying to steal that away. Over here, Sir Ice Cream is in position, and as you can see, Luna and everybody else is just now going straight for a camp. There's not really too much that you have to do if you're Na'Vi right now. The only thing that you have to make sure is that you're not getting picked off the map in very individual scenarios, like losing a hero every now and then. So, yeah, for now we have Grandpa Kette actually over here. We're seeing still the level 13 talents for Kiev5, and that's where we see the improved ice block, as you can tell already. We're having also, of course, now the imposing will, relentless taken. And yeah, it's still a pretty similar build to what we see on the North American server. As I said, when you look at the build for heroes like Charism, it's mostly at Divine Palm. On NA, nearly everybody, if you've been watching I mean, we had 8 tournaments so far in Enter the Storm, and most of the time it's really just a massive focus on the damage with the 7-sided strike, which is actually really powerful. The same also going on in the Chinese scene. The only reason where you really see a Divine Palm is against super heavy curve burst combos. The rest of the setups is pretty similar. There's one deviation as well. Tyrael sometimes even going into Judgment, but that's mostly when you can combo it off another talent. We've seen in the Chinese scene today Tyrael Illidan, which is of course a bit old school, and then you're trying to jump the backline. Or we even saw that combo that was very popular in Korea for some time, with Judgment on Tyrael, integrating arrow on Sylvanas, and that allows you to snipe the target. It's also a bit risky. If you don't kill the target, then you're down 2 heroics, and that can be a problem. Again, the snipe attempt, and oh my god, Tyrael is down before the fight even starts. They go now for Mopsio. Divine Palm is triggered. I think it's doubtful that he's going to survive though. And they also drop Jaina. Or do they? Yes, they do. Wow, it's a triple kill, and it could be that we see even more. Falstead, is he going to fly in? I wouldn't put it past him. Eternal is also rushing in, and they are, of course, attempting to drop AI. Now, Lunan keeps him alive. Is he going to sacrifice himself? No, he oh my god! He dashes away and just barely stays alive there. 18 versus 14 tons up to the top lane. We're seeing now also another camp putting pressure onto the keep, and Na'Vi is playing an amazing game here. 16 kills against 4, that's what we currently have on the map. They're taking structure after structure. We have another shrine, by the way, active, and they're going to try and finish it with this one. They're going to try and finish the game here. It's 1.5 levels that they need to hit the Storm Talons on level 20. I mean, they have another opponent that they need to face later on. They're going up against Na'Vi in just a bit, but right now, as you can already tell, this is looking a bit like a warm-up game for these boys. I mean, everybody was asking, how strong is Na'Vi's comp actually? How good are these guys? And I suppose we're going to find out later on, but right now they are looking very solid. I mean, this is really cool play by them, very coordinated, very disciplined as well. They get the frozen Punisher now and can start to move down the bot lane. So Alex the Pro G is already leading the charge with his Mirrodin on the carpet. Eternal is also starting to move in. And I mean, the kills alone are already telling the tale here. But there's not even a level 16 talent for the opponent. And without the 16 talent, there is just no contesting this. If Sylvanas is pushing this in, and indeed she will, we have the Punisher now also on the way. And with the Frozen Punisher, if you end up in one of these circles just once, that entire team is going to jump you. Mirrodin is going to follow it up with a quick jump. There comes the Hyperion. But that particular keep is nearly eliminated already. And they are, of course, just waiting for an opportunity to dash in with a Punisher to end this game. 16 talent is still not ready. So Ice Cream at the front. Here's the stun lock. There's the silence and the kill. Kill number 17. And this is going to be a goodbye core. They already move in. The Punisher is on the way. He's going to probably jump in any second once again. Mighty Gust already being used. ETC is looking for a mosh pit, doesn't find it. In comes the Punisher. Lunan with the Divine Palm on himself. ETC doesn't stand a chance. Gets slammed into the ground. Hydra is dying now too. GG, well played, and game over, as we are seeing Na'Vi take the game with a 2-0 victory here. Congratulations, incredibly well played, and they win the best of 3 series at the Heroes Battle Arena.
And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on KhaldorTV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to KhaldorTV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you, and I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye bye.